Ding, ding, ding. Last round. I know I was listening. I was trying to listen like through the website and Facebook Live when I was running up 8th Avenue. I had my phone like a crazy person and it kept going in and out. But I heard you all talking about martial arts a little bit.
That's right. That's right.
Nick is a pretty badass kickboxer.
I don't know about that. But
there's one picture of you from the dojo. It was like in their newsletter of you doing a round kick. Oh, yeah. And I think you scared Jean-Claude Van Damme with that kick.
I wish. He was one of my idols growing up.
Man, it was amazing. So you had done martial arts before. You did karate when you were younger?
I was into Japanese karate, Shotokan.
Yeah.
Did that for a number of years, maybe 8 or 10 years.
Wow.
And it was my thing as a young kid. So kept me fit back in the day.
Well, it serves you well even now because I've held the pads for his round kicks, and he will make you feel like there's no pads.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Me fit. It's important.
Yeah. No, I always love working with you, and it's a great thing. So last round, here we go. We're gonna hear from Nick on some suggestions if you are a guy with a van, which is often how it starts.
Yeah.
Maybe you're young and you spent some time in the industry and you're thinking about doing this for yourself, or maybe you're more like our age and you're at a job where you don't necessarily enjoy it and you want to have more quantity of time and more control over your schedule and you want to step out. So just some advice, some things that you'll need to have in place to get this off the ground, but also some unexpected things you might not have known were going to happen. And if a little prior knowledge maybe would have made life a little easier. So what are some of the first things one needs to get this off? You talked about capital already. You're going to need some money. You're going to need some bread, cold hard cash.
It always goes back to capital.
Right.
But I think for anything you start, you should have a passion for it. You really need to love this business, this industry. So if you're already driving a van, then you already have a leg up, so to speak. You must like what you do. And if you have a van, you're probably doing it for yourself already.
Right.
If you want to expand and you're already operating well and you want to expand, then beyond just having money to do so, it's knowing the rules, knowing the regulations. You're working within those bounds.
Did you have to get you have to take like some pretty tough tests, right, to get some of the?
I think the tests are pretty straightforward.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I had a buddy that did it, not in New York. He's in Virginia, but he's a restaurant owner that ended up becoming a developer and a contractor to build his own places because this guy's insane. He's always folding in new tricks. But he got same way. He got into real estate. He was flipping houses first and like nice ones, big ones like on the ocean front.
Sure.
And then just was like started to buy buildings for his restaurants instead of getting commercial leases, buying the building, then building the building. And he was telling me the test he had to take for the commercial contractor's license was there.
I guess it's all relative,
Yeah, I guess.
Seems pretty straightforward.
What I love about you too, you're just like, you're never phased. You're just like, whatever, man, it's fine. Always relaxed.
But I tell you that the big pitfall for many that start out in construction is it's all easy peasy in the beginning. You start out, you get a truck, you have a few dollars, you kind of put up a shingle, you start doing some work, it all sounds great, you start hiring a few people, and then of course a couple of years go by and then things start to catch up. The freight train kind of comes and kind of hits you, and the insurance liability really kicks in. Because when you start out, there's nothing to kind of base you on. But once you've operated for a while and then you're in a highly regulated, I mean, New York State is the most regulated. And once that insurance premium kind of backdates and hits you, they could put a lot of people out of business.
Gotcha. That's great.
So really getting into that, talking to other people in that boat.
And that's specific to construction and contracting and development.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So workers' compensation, general liability, employee liability, professional liability. We can keep going. It's probably about 6 or 7 you need to own. To operate, but but the general
and they keep adding new ones, right? Fucking paid family leave and all of it is like what?
Paid vacation, whatever it may be. But so knowing the rules and abiding by them, because at some point, if you don't, they may get you. it can stop you in your tracks.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
It's that easy.
Have there been any other things similar to that where those insurance premiums come up on you that just kind of sideswiped you and you were like, wow, that had 4 zeros behind it. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, for me, I expected it. I did my homework.
Oh, good.
I knew what
Still
to
hurt
expect.
though, didn't it?
It hurt. A lot of it I call it UFO, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What can you do? You roll with it.
Yeah.
But you get on the phone, you work through it like everything else. You talk to the insurance company and you try to just do your part to get the premiums down. But at the end of the day, you owe the premium, you pay it. And then you're better prepared for the next year.
Right.
And
so it comes up annually like
going.
that.
But every year it's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
We're talking 6 figures
and
beyond.
Yeah.
Wow. So
that's insane.
And it's all based on revenue, right? So it's you're
I have to do the same thing.
Unbound, right?
You do the same thing with the restaurant. It's just a lot less,
and
it's contingent on the amount of employees you have as well. So we're a pretty small operation, so it's not near.
And you're operating in a market where the market to a degree determines what you're going to make, right? You have to be competitive, right? So you can do everything you want, but if at the end of the day the market's saying this job is worth X and you can't operate on X, then you have to either take on different projects or close up, right? So you have to stay.
You brought up a good point because there's quite a lot of competition.
Absolutely.
There's trucks everywhere. There's branded trucks. There's guys that aren't branded, but they're just out doing the whole thing. And in a market where there's
undercutting you a bit.
Right, but there's also a ton of homes. We're one of the most populated cities in the world. How do you deal with competition?
So this business is really referral driven, and that's the big part of how you get your work. And also, it's just in general, people call you out of the blue, and you kind of connect. But it's setting yourself apart. It's how do you differ from the competition? How delivering more service, but not just service. It's the things that they're willing to pay a premium on, right? It's all a commodity to a degree, right?
Right.
A tile is a tile, a floor is a floor, but it's the process. It's really bringing that positive energy.
Well, it sounds like relationship,
keeping it exciting, inclusive. It's their journey. It really is about the homeowner. It's their home. It's their project, right? You really want them to be part of it. You want them to enjoy it. Nobody wants to dread a project, and we hear nightmares. We hear the stories. Unfortunately,
that's why I was interested in having you on, because it could have been a sticky that some guys really like. It's an unfortunate situation.
We try to bring about a very positive experience.
Cindy Bromsa sent me a message after she saw the picture, and she was like, "Yay, Nick!" And I thought about that then, because you guys did it. Her place is beautiful. It's really awesome.
It's a great project, and it's right on the corner.
Right, it's like right there where you're at. And you said something earlier that made me think about your approach to it. It almost seemed artistic to you.
Yeah, I believe it is. Pretty, for me, it's my creative outlet. It is very artistic. I walk around the neighborhood. I want it to be as beautiful as you do.
Yeah.
And then where, if my projects are not inspire me creatively, then I'll do my own project. Right. And then, so it is an outlet.
So that's the passion for you. And that really drives your desire to over deliver.
Yeah. So I really fall in love with the project. I connect with the people, and somewhere between the two of those things, I want to engage.
Yeah.
If I see a project that just doesn't kind of check all the boxes, I might not want to do it.
Right.
And of course, having that luxury to have multiple projects to choose from is terrific. But
so what do you do then? Do you make a referral to somebody else that might want to pick it up, or
if possible? If possible. But that does happen. I mean, there's been an explosive amount of work in Brooklyn, and so we're getting way too many calls. So unfortunately, we had to turn some work down. But,
it's a good problem to have, man.
It's a great problem to have. But going forward, we do want to scale a bit and grow. And so whether it's projects, another thing that we're looking to do is sort of like whole home maintenance, right? Because it's hard to have a home without maintenance. You got to maintain it. And so we call it a project. So it's a whole home.
You've done some of that already, though, right?
But not break fix. We really want to own the home asset, right? So it's a project to, really maintain the home for you on a more of a contract basis, where we can apply some strategy. If there's no prevention and you're just going to call someone out of the blue, it's more ad hoc, break fix.
But it's relationship building for you as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, man. This is really great stuff. Hopefully you got some benefit from this, whether you're coming up in the contracting business. but this would apply to anything. It's really universal. The idea is of being capitalized, know what's coming your way, have some passion, and build relationships. That's really where it's at, whether you're, across the country from potential customers or right next door, as you and I are. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. We're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. Peace. Take it easy.